Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding General, Marine Corps Information Command, Brigadier General Ahmed T. Williamson, welcome to the change of command ceremony in which Colonel Thomas J. Heller will relinquish command to Colonel Thomas A. Kulisz. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Lieutenant Weston Bodie, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, and remain standing for honors to the reviewing officer.
Good morning. Let us pray. Almighty God, we gather today with gratitude as we witness this change of command from Marine Corps Information Operations Center. We thank you for the privilege of serving our nation and for the men and women who have answered the call to defend freedom. Today we give thanks for the faithful leadership of Colonel Thomas Heller. Thank you, O God, for your favor upon him and the steadfast commitment that you have expressed through him as you have guided him and this command. Bless Colonel Heller and his family in every way, his wife Melissa, their children Sammy and Lauren, as they begin this next chapter in DC Pentagon. May they find strength wherever you lead them. We also pray for Colonel Thomas Kulisz. Grant him wisdom, fortitude for the road ahead. Surround this warrior with the united command committed to excellence and the mission before them. Thank you, O God, for his family, his wife Ashley, their children Chase, Hayden, Mikey, Samantha, and his mom Ursula for their faithful support. As this command stands at the forefront, protecting our nation and the information environment, grant them, O Lord, favor and insight on how to accomplish their mission with honor. Finally, remind us, as leadership changes, our shared calling to serve faithfully remains. Help each of us to carry out our responsibilities with excellence and to care for one another as you care for us, O Lord. We pray this in your holy name. Amen.
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the reviewing officer for today's ceremony, the Commanding General, United States Marine Corps Information Command, Brigadier General Ahmed T. Williamson. Ladies and gentlemen, honors to Brigadier General Ahmed T. Williamson. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Now taking his position in the reviewing area is the Commanding Officer of the Marine Corps Information Operations Center, Colonel Thomas J. Heller. Sergeant Major, deliver the colors to the Commanding Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the ceremony's most solemn moment, the actual passing of command. The battle colors of the Marine Corps unit symbolize the authority and accountability of command. Transferring the colors during the ceremony symbolizes the relinquishing of command by Colonel Heller, and by accepting the colors, Colonel Kulisz accepts command and confirms his total commitment to the Marines that he will command. Sergeant Major Clement is delivering the colors to the Commanding Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Colonel Thomas J. Heller, effective 0900, 10 July 2026, you will relinquish command of Marine Corps Information Operations Center and report to Deputy Commandant for Information Maneuver Division. Signed, Eric M. Smith, General, Commandant of the Marine Corps. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Colonel Thomas A. Kulisz, effective 0900, 10 July 2026, You will assume the duties as Commanding Officer, Marine Corps Information Operations Center. Signed, Eric M. Smith, General, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Now taking his position in the revealing area is the Commanding General, Brigadier General Ahmed T. Williamson. Officer to be decorated, and all colors. Center, march. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem and remain standing for the presentation of the award. The United States of America. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Legion of Merit to Colonel Thomas J. Heller, United States Marine Corps, for exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service as the Commanding Officer, Marine Corps Information Operations Center, Marine Corps Information Command, Headquarters Marine Corps, from July 2024 to July 2026. During this period, Colonel Heller provided decisive leadership and strategic vision during significant operational expansion and institutional transformation. He directed the deployment of Marine Corps Information Operations Center Marines across multiple combatant commands, strengthened reachback support to forward forces, and advanced the integration of operations in the information environment across service and joint missions. He oversaw development of critical information environment assessments, expanded publicly available information and social media exploitation capabilities, and enhanced psychological operations, operational security, and signature management support across the joint force. He executed an organizational restructuring that aligned the center to meet current and future operational demands and positioned it as an innovative leader within the service's information enterprise. Colonel Heller fostered enduring relationships with other services, allies, partners, academia, and key stakeholders, elevating Marine Corps Information Operations Center as a service, joint, and combined leader in concepts, doctrine, and capability development. By his keen judgment, distinctive contributions, and total dedication to duty, Colonel Heller reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. For the President, Eric M. Smith, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding General, Brigadier General Ahmed T. Williamson.
Hey, well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Okay. I've been traveling for the past 36 hours. Just got back in a couple of hours ago from Colorado, so Please forgive me if I'm a little slow on my motivation and my morale. It may be the fact that we didn't get any sleep, or it could be the elevation, right, Sergeant Major?
Yeah.
Sergeant Major, so as I was sitting in space camp for executives, Sergeant Major was hiking, what's his name?
Monty White.
Monty, something really high. So I'm all juiced up on caffeine now. I'm back at the center of gravity for us, for God's country. So I'm excited to be back here and actually to recognize these two commanders. So I'm going to take myself back again to the opening, because I think I might be in the wrong place. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, sir!
Okay, good to go. Good to go. To distinguished generals and guests, to commanding officers and senior enlisted leaders, to Marines, sailors, our civilians, to family members, so glad that you could make it through. Hey, welcome, and thanks for coming to this change of command ceremony. This is very special for us, and it's a very special command during a very special time in our Marine Corps history at a really special place. My responsibility is easy this morning. It's actually to be able to brag on the phenomenal work that this command has done. Sure, I'm not gonna take any of the credit, but I get the chance to brag, and then brag about the two officers who have been identified to lead and take this command to the next height, and to the commander of the course of the past 2 years, who has really operationalized some concepts that we've been talking about for years. There's a couple of acknowledgments I'd like to make though. So first, to Lieutenant General Matos, the Master Guns, thank you so much for coming all the way from the Pentagon. The reverse commute wasn't so much this morning. The traffic was still challenging, but your presence here speaks to the importance of the Deputy Commandant for Information and the role that you have right now is ensuring that our service is right set. The entire enterprise you brought here with you, the Marine Corps Information Command and its enterprise, but most prominently the pointing end of that spear is the Marine Corps Information Operations Center. So thanks to both of you all for coming. To General Cunningham, there you go. And sure, I don't know which hat you're wearing right now, but I'm going to say as the Durant, you in representing the entire intelligence apparatus, the McCree, and that whole community, you being right there at the front row speaks to the importance that this command has on the direction of the Marine Corps. So thank you for taking the time to come and be here with us. So for all the members of the DCI Enterprise, okay, can I see your hands if you're here from the DCI Enterprise? Wow, you all traveled from far and wide as well, and you know the relevance of this operational arm of the Marine Corps. It's a lot of thoughts, a lot of planning, a lot of policy, and you've been able to help see it put in place. So thank you all for coming here. Put up Marines from the McKickey. You here? Hey, look, remember, 36 hours of travel, a little bit of elevation. We hear it from the McKickey? Okay, I see hands. It was motivation. Thanks, and I know you all have come from all over the National Capital Region, all the way from Fort Meade, all the way down to this area as well, and even commanding officers here from the COG Battle Buddies and the MCIA as well. Thank you all for taking the time to come here. Before I go any further, how about a round of applause for the band here? The band, right? You know, we talk about changes of command with and without band. So thank you all for being here to frame this. You always make events like this extremely special. Changes of command. They're changes of authority and responsibility. It's age-old tradition for us. But the commanders switch out, and we'll brag about these two gentlemen here, both coming and going. But the command will remain. What remains standard is the mission. Our focus on the Marines and the civilians that run this organization. What remains standard is our standards. So that's what we're going to celebrate today, is the Marine Corps Information Operations Center and the phenomenal work that's been done over the course of these past 2 years and the trajectory that you're going to continue to take it on. No more fitting place though than here at Camp Barrett at the basic school. This edifice was not here when I came through. You don't wasn't here when you came through. This campus didn't look like this at all. This is the place where we take in brand new young lieutenants and we steep them in warfighting. What's not changed is we know that the nature of war has not and will not change. We know it's chaotic, we know it's complex, we know it's full of fog and friction, and here's where we teach lieutenants about the things that will endure, that they need innovation and audacity and boldness. Those things don't change. But as the buildings have changed here, the nature or the character of war is changing, the ubiquity of technology. The establishment of our command and control communications, cyber intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance net, that apparatus has changed. It is prolific, but it's also extremely vulnerable. That's changed. So the Marine Corps saw fit for not only to find information as a key critical enabler, but as a warfighting function. So I know what we're doing right now is those same lieutenants are learning about how to leverage, just like they learn how to leverage combat combined arms in the physical domain, they're learning about how to leverage the combined arms in this new space. What's happened since the time we were here, General? What's happened since the time these two colonels were here at the basic school? These new buildings? We've established and identified cyberspace as a domain of warfare. Space as a domain of warfare. Information as a warfighting function. And combining those effects to give commander decision advantage is exactly what the Deputy Commandant for Information is doing, is what the Marine Corps Information Command was established to do, but at the pointy tip of that spear, center of that spear, is the Marine Corps Information Operations Center. So Tom, you have brought this command forward in 2 years so radically, in many different areas, as you stood and you listened to the citation on this award. If you allow me to really highlight a few specific areas where he's advanced this command over the last couple of years, as the character of war has changed and in the imperative, he has still taken those same elements, those same attributes that we teach, with boldness, audacity, innovation, and establishing tempo to build decisive advantage for Marine forces and support of Joint Force Command. First, global operational reach. In the time he's been in command, there's been over 50 Marines, more than 50 Marines, deployed in support of 19 real-world operations in 3 different geographic command and in support of Special Operations Forces. Operational reach, that's real. That's going from concept to being able to put those key and critical enablers out there. Forward deployed, integrated, trying to reduce that complexity and increase decision advantage for warfighters. Pioneering innovation. How do we get through the complexities of a changing environment? By being innovative. And it's completely what he's been able to do to this force. He was the pioneer behind developing and deploying the multi-domain threat assessment team that combines intelligence, counterintelligence, cyber, and looking to make sure that we can truly look at our warfighting forces and ensure they're survivable on tomorrow's battlefield. Adding to that the fact that he's added signature management capabilities that have gone out and assessed our commands. He's ensured they're prepared, they're ready, they're relevant forces. Not only that we could be survivable in the complexities of the future environment, but that we could also be maneuverable and lethal. Bringing all those effects in the new warfighting domain. And finally, I think what I think is most important, because I've become a bit of an NCR nerd myself, is he's established the professional sustainment of these concepts and ideas. He's gone back to the Commandant's Planning Guidance, where we made a significant service level pivot in our force design concept. He's gone back to Force Design 2030, and he's ensured that we pulled out all the elements of what this force is supposed to be, and he's actually materialized it, operationalized it, and deployed it in support of forces. Tom, if anyone was listening to the award, you have completely earned that. I shared with him, the Legion of Merit. At least when I heard, the phrase Legion of Merit as a young officer, I thought it was like a made-up award. I thought that was like an award thing. And it's going to get the Legion of Merit, but something that we said flippantly until I actually saw someone actually receive an award. And it's at the highest level of our service. Your leadership, your innovation, the boldness and audacity, not waiting and trying to keep pace with technology, but leaping ahead and figuring out where your force needs to be is extremely innovative, and the reason why you earned the Legion of Merit. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you please a round of applause for Colonel Thomas. Sandy, Lauren, to the rest of your family, thank you so much. Thank you for supporting this commander, but thank you also for your sacrifice. I know Dad couldn't be there at all the different events, and I know you really wanted to be, but you see the people in this room here and who he's been able to lead and inspire, and it's even more. There's countless numbers of Marines that probably even still deployed or other forces that benefited from the work that he did. So I thank you so much for your sacrifice, and I know you're going to have a great time at Hershey Park, right? It's the promise. So you've taken on this command right now, during a very critical time in our country, during a very critical time in us developing these technologies and capabilities. And Tom Kulisz, you couldn't be better prepared. You could be no one best prepared to take on this command. We call it the Commandant's Command Screening Board. So you should take pride in knowing that the Commandant has selected you to come in and lead in this area. He's established a deputy commandant for information in this warfighting space. He's built out a new command to be able to synchronize all these different capabilities to be effective. He's appointed a command and a commander to lead them to the next level. What did we learn here? Boldness, audacity, innovation, tempo. Continue to press. You see where the command is today. You can see where these technologies are going to continue to move forward, not only for us to be able to leverage them as a Marine Force, but also our adversaries are wicked. And our adversaries are looking to see how they might disrupt our center of gravity. We'll need you to continue to be bold, innovative, and thoughtful in how you're going to get after this. Your time as an intelligence officer, your time working with special operations forces, and even being a TIO is right set you for this. Working with the Intel Battalion, coming out of the Deputy Commandant for Information's space, you are right set for this. The right Marine at the right time. Ashley, thank you in advance for being patient with us, because we're going to ask him to do more. It's critically important as the character of war has changed. As Marines and Joint Force members are currently deployed and engaged right now, we'll need the fullness of what he's got to bring to encourage, inspire, and help these Marines move on to a greater level. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to be able to stand here as the Commanding General of the Marine Corps Information Command and to have commanders like this who are ready to do the next thing. I just ask you to do this. Focus on war fighting and making sure that our Marines can fight and win and be the first to fight in all domains. Take care of the Marines and civilians that are under your charge. Ensure they're fully developed, not just technically, because it's a good technical space, but also as leaders and as family members. And be a wise and faithful steward over the critical assets and resources that you've been given charge of. Because the fight's on. And in this place, where we taught officers the core of what it takes to be successful, bringing the combined arms effects of everything we have to bear to crush the adversary, divide decision advantage back for our Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, the new commanding officer of MCIOC, and a round of applause for the old outgoing commanding officer, Colonel Tom Heller.
Thank you, General Williamson, for those kind words and taking the time out of your day to be here with us and to celebrate this occasion of Tom Kulisz taking command of the MCIOC. Truly, you had inspirational words for the command and very kind words to say for me. I think when you were speaking about the award and all the things in there, if you were to look at my high school and college transcripts, innovative, intelligent, none of those words would come to your mind or none of those things. It's really a testament to the Marines, the civilians, and the contractors of MCIOC, of where we are today. It really had nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with them. But I thank you, Sergeant Major Taylor, for being here today with us this morning. To our distinguished guests, former boss, current boss, Lieutenant General Matos, thank you and Major General Cunningham for being here this morning to share in this occasion with us. To the two former COs of MCIOC, Bo McLean and Todd Mannix, thank you for being here today and continue to support MCIOC even after you've been a few years removed from command. But it's always great to see you two gentlemen here and celebrating with us. To my fellow commanders, colonels, sergeants majors, master gunnery sergeants, families, friends, the exceptional and talented Marines, civilians, and contractors of MCIOC, welcome and thank you for being here this morning as well. A little bit more mandatory for you all, but we appreciate you being here. I know the CG touched on it, but just another round of applause for the Marine Corps Quantico band. You guys are fantastic. Chaplain Bodie, as always, your words are on point and with purpose, and thank you for doing the invocation for us this morning. And last but certainly not least, Sergeant Major Clement, the color guard, Staff Sergeant Z with his velvety voice up here, and all the Marines that set this up this morning. Thank you so much for putting this together for Colonel Kulisz and myself. Thank you. You know, today kind of marks the conclusion, marks the conclusion of my 2 years in command here. And without a doubt, this has been the best job that I've had in 25 years in the Marine Corps, without question. And it has nothing to do with the job itself. It has everything to do with the Marines and the civilians that are a part of the organization. It's just phenomenal to be a part of it. My favorite thing still, when we have visitors come in, my favorite thing to hear, because I said it within the first couple of days of the command, is, I had no idea you guys did that type of stuff. It's just fascinating, the amount of work and the type of work that the MCIOC does and can provide to the fleet and the joint force. It's just tremendous. When I assumed command, I had 3 priorities, and they're usually the same, and it's nothing trivial. It's Marines, which includes civilians and contractors, it's the mission, and then it's material, and it's all about readiness. And I gave you that challenge when I first came in, and you've exceeded every single expectation that I had for each and every one of you. You just did a tremendous job. You're the reason why the award that was presented to me. You are the reason that occurred. General Williamson talked about the operational force that we are in MCIOC. It's hard to believe that an operational force lives on Quantico, but we do, and there's a few other units as well. But the work that you all do and the global reach that you have in every combatant command, in every AO, from PACOM to CENTCOM to AFRICOM to SOUTHCOM, where we have our GFM deployments and our teams. We have our reach back support. We touch every MAR 4. We touch every combatant command. We are everywhere. We can touch everything and we can help out everywhere. Even with our limited capacity, you all go above and beyond. You answered the call. When we first came in the door 2 years ago, the focus was PACOM. It's still PACOM, but then it shifted to SOUTHCOM, and then it shifted again to CENTCOM. Then we took a break, and now it's back to CENTCOM again, all right? But that's a testament to your own work ethic and your ability to lift and shift as the priorities change. And then you still do tremendous work, regardless of the region and the AO that you're working on. And it's just been an honor and a privilege to sit back and kind of watch all the goodness happen. And I appreciate your efforts and all that. We had the opportunity to integrate with cyber and space. And Lieutenant General Matos, this is where you come in. Under the MCIOC umbrella and all the hats you wore, and now sir, all the hats you wear, the only word that comes to my mind is opportunity. Opportunity, opportunity. Where IO integrates with cyber, space, and soft, and we use that combined arms mentality to bring it all together on whatever that non-kinetic or kinetic target is. And it's just fascinating, the opportunities that exist because of that command. We have unlimited amounts of not even say resources, but there are so many options out there for us to do and leverage the Marines, civilians, and contractors of MCIOC. So please continue to take full advantage of MCIOC, General Williamson. To the Chief of Staff, Sergeant Major Mason, Sergeant Major Clement, the 2 XOs, I don't know if Lieutenant Colonel Woodward made it today, but Lieutenant Colonel Hendrickson, OPSO Lieutenant Colonel Hampton, I see it over there. To all the primary deputy OICs, the chiefs, thank you for your brilliant counsel, your tireless work ethic, and your steadfast leadership to be that engine for this unit, to drive it forward and to take it to where we are today. And keeping the MCIOC mission, and most importantly, its personnel at the forefront of everything we do. The one thing I would like to talk about that had nothing to do with me is the culture of MCIOC. It's a culture based on dignity and respect, which then inherently creates trust among its people, whether you're Marine, civilian, or contracted. There is that sense of support from the different sections. You're not stovepiped. You're willing to help out the person to your left and to your right. That's incredible, and that's an incredible culture, and it's not in every organization, but you all have it. And then you're always about the mission. You always think about your brother and sister to your left and right first before you think of yourselves. And that is just fantastic selfless service that each of you provide here. You are all the reason that people are knocking on the door trying to get orders to MCIOC, and probably half of you don't want to leave. Because it's a fun mission, it's a global mission. You're the reason, though, that this organization is successful. You're the reason that guys like me get to have a final speech on the way out with a band. You're the reason that this all happens. And for that, I want to thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your enduring commitment, not only to our Corps, but to our great nation. And it has been my distinct honor and privilege to serve alongside each and every one of you. To my beautiful and most patient wife, thank you so much for the sacrifices, not only during this tour, but throughout our duration together. I know you put a lot of stuff on the back burner. I know you play second fiddle a lot to a lot of these folks in here. But I definitely married the right woman. I am lucky and fortunate to have you. I can't express it with words of how happy and fortunate I am to have you as my wife and my backbone. So thank you so much for what you've done for me. To my two kiddos over there, Lauren and Sammy, and this really applies to anybody who has kids and who's lived a military life. So they're 12 and 10. This is their 7th move in that amount of time. And in that short time, and with all those moves, when we go to these different places, you just pick up where you left off. You integrate so naturally, whether it's creating new friends, into your sports teams, and most importantly, although you think it's boring, is your schoolwork and your grades. You definitely take after your mother, you don't take after your father with the grades. But I'm so proud of you, and your mom and I are so proud of you. We love you so much for how flexible and how resilient you two kids are, and I love you so much. Thank you. To Tom and his family, congratulations on assuming this command. Ashley, congratulations as well to the Kulisz family. You are about to embark on a great 2 years. It has been an absolute blast the last 2 years here. I've had a smile on my face every single day. I hope the same happens for you, and I know it will. There is no one better, as General Williamson said, there is nobody better to take the helm of MCIOC than you, Tom. It is you. You are the right person for the job right now. And you are inheriting a tremendously driven, battle-tested, extremely talented group of individuals, and they are fortunate to have you as their commander. And there's no doubt in my mind, under your leadership, you're going to take them to the next level that I cannot get them to. So ladies and gentlemen, if you would, please welcome the commanding officer of the Marine Corps Information Operations Center, Colonel Tom Kulisz.
General officers, senior enlisted commanders, leaders of all ranks and position, the devious geniuses in the crowd right now, and especially my amazing family. Thanks. And before anything else, I want to thank God for the blessings in my life, for my family, the people I've been privileged to serve with, and for the opportunity to stand here today and assume responsibility for this command. I am deeply honored to stand before you today entrusted with the responsibility of this organization. You heard it in the Legion of Merit, you heard it in what General Williamson said, you heard it in what Colonel Heller said. This organization is what it is because of the men and women of the organization and the leadership that you gave to Tom. And I could not be more blessed to stand here right here and pick up after you in a good. But nothing entrusted to us is ever ours to keep. Right? So everything entrusted us for us to strengthen. That's the foundation of how this command works, how this center works, how we lead, how we decide, and how we fight. MCIOC exists to create warfighting advantage for the Marine Corps. We help the force understand, we help the force compete, influence, disrupt, protect, and win in the information environment. And our work must persevere. We must have initiative, as the General said. We must have that tenacity. We must create options for commanders and impose dilemmas on the adversary before they can impose those dilemmas on us. That kind of advantage does not appear in the moment of crisis. It's cultivated before that crisis arrives. Cultivation is not soft. It's disciplined preparation. It is how great organizations create conditions for success before contact. Clear intent, trusted teams, shared understanding, ruthless learning. Let me know if this sounds like MCIOC to you. In business, that's how high-performing organizations compound their market share. That's great. In war, that's how Marines seize and keep the initiative. The yield of our cultivation is warfighting advantage. We will grow professionals who can think, decide, and act faster than our adversaries. We'll create capacity. We'll align efforts. We'll master our craft and multiply that mastery across the force. We'll move with urgency, decide with courage, and remain worthy of the trust placed in us. When we cultivate this command correctly, as it has been for some time now, MCIOC will be the place, as you said, Tom, people seek out to come. Because this is where ideas become advantage. This is where talent becomes capability. And this is where initiative sees before others even recognize they're playing the game. So our charge is simple. Be worthy of that trust. Strengthen what has been entrusted. Do right, fear no one. And leave this command more capable, more disciplined, more lethal, and more alive than we found it. It is an absolute pleasure to be here, and General, I'll stay as long as you need me to. And I'm absolutely thrilled and proud to serve alongside with you. Now let's get to work.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Colonel Heller's spouse, Melissa, for the continued support of the MCIOC families and service members. We would also like to extend a warm welcome to Ashley in joining the MCIOC family. It is a long-standing tradition for Marines past and present, who when they hear the Marine hymn, they stand at attention and they sing the hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the blending of Anchors Away and the singing of the Marine hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attendance. At this time, we are now going to present Colonel Heller with a gift.
Sir, we just wanted to get you something to show our appreciation. For me personally, I can say you've been the best boss I've ever had. Leave here with no doubt that you have the love and profound respect of everybody that you've led over the last 2 years. I want your family to know that too. Your dad is awesome. You can probably see this and explain to them the significance, but Colonel Thomas J. Heller, July 2024 to July 2026, for outstanding service as a fair, thoughtful, and exemplary leader. You proved to be a true influence Marine in practice, masterfully shaping the behaviors, motives, and the expectations of those under your charge. Whether leading from the front on the blacktop, keeping us afloat in the pool, or directing operations in the office, you consistently showed us what right looks like. Thank you for your unwavering dedication for enforcing the standards and for always taking care of your Marines.
Looking for the lawyer. I think this is within the price range. But what it represents is, so one of the things I did at MCIOC and I introduced them to is deep end water polo right here at the basic school. So this represents water polo in the deep end. So they knew it's one of my favorite PT events. So thank you very much for this. I appreciate it. Thank you.
This concludes today's ceremony. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.